Hey everybody, Richter Knives here, episode number 173, and I've got something on the channel I don't think I've ever done. It's a budget folder. Don't think I've ever done one here on this channel, but FINTISO reached out to me and they asked me if I'd like to do a review, a test, and on this knife, and I'm like, you know, I'll be honest with you, if you're going to send that to me, I'm going to need to be completely honest, and if the knife is trash, total trash, I'm going to say it's trash. If it's great, I'll say it's great. As long as you're cool with that, you can send it to me. And they were totally cool with that. And they said that's what they wanted. So we're going to go ahead and do it. I went ahead and unboxed this thing, and I've used it for a week because when they did email me, they said test. And they gave this knife to me for free to test. So I was like, you know what? I better, go ahead and test it instead of just an unboxing. I thought it'd be more fitting. I thought it'd be better. Not only for them, but for the channel and for y'all that actually use the knife. So I'll show you real quick what's in the box. This is the box. This is the FINTISO, which I'd never heard of before. I'll be honest with you. I never heard of this knife brand. You get this zipper pouch, right? And it's lined pretty nice. And a lot of knife companies are starting to do that. You get a sticker. Fancy. Okay, you get this microfiber cloth. Always like having those. And then this is very good. I like this. They sent body screws, just in case. Other manufacturers, take notes. Do that. I like that. And here's the user manual. I'm glad they sent this because obviously I'm not buying a Benchmade and it's not a Spyderco. I don't know much about this company. I'm glad they kind of sent this, not so I know how to use it, but it kind of gives you an about. So it tells you, you can pause it there and read that. Kind of tells you what they're about. And then it shows you the different series they have. The Atlas, the Rook series, the Apollo series, the Cobra series. It looks like a nightshade to me. And then they've got the Odyssey series, the Harp series, which at first I thought it said herpes. I don't know. And then the Parrot series. And this is the knife we have here, the Falcon series. It says the blade material is 14C 28N. Handle materials, black or green G10. It's a flipper thumb stud opening and a liner lock closing, 7.8 inches overall. So there we go. There's your warranty and all that information right there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the knife. Bam! Check it. So first off, let's talk about the blade. Very first thing, when I open this, I'm like, yes, I like this blade. Here's the reason why I like this blade. It looks aggressive. I like the Harpoon, the swedge. It looks aggressive. Also, you've got the dual thumb studs. So, if you're a lefty and you want to open it like that, go for it. A lot of knives don't have that. Also, it is not billboarded to death. It doesn't have their big old logo on it. Now, they do have the logo right here on the pivot. And I don't fault them for that. I ain't mad at that because, like I said, I've never really heard of this company. And if you just give me this with no billboarding, I might not even know what it is. You do have this tiny bit of billboarding right there. But to be honest with you, I don't even notice it. I really thought this was like the steel before I looked at it. But the steel's on this side. See, oh, got it upside down. 14C, 28N. And I believe the hardness on this blade is going to be 60 to 62, which is right there probably where it needs to be. I'm not a metallurgist or anything like that, but I've had no problems with this steel at all. It seems like the heat treat's dead on. I don't know what the coating is on this. It could be DLC or something like that. It has a little bit of a stonewash, kind of grayish tint to it. I will say the edge is a little wonky as far as like evenness. I don't know if you can tell by looking at it right here. I have stropped it once, And I could tell, see here's a little bit of unevenness right there at the belly. But it's not far off. It's fine. I have stropped it, and you can see where it kind of shines right up above that bevel. So I don't think this will be hard to come off. Although I have cut a lot with it, and it just kind of, it doesn't really have scratches per se. You can see, I guess, lines in it from where it has passed through some things. Might be some scratches right there at the tip, or residue right here, some scratches. A little bit of wear right there. So I don't know how great this is. I didn't cut enough with it to tear it up, you know what I'm saying? And you can see the edges right there are kind of, the coatings come off a little bit. So whatever that is, coating's not great. It's not going to be like your Benchmade or something like that. But this is not a $400 knife like a Benchmade would probably be if they made this. What else on the blade? The steel I'm not mad at. I really like that steel. Everything that I've held with that steel is fine. The edge come pretty darn sharp. Let me get a piece of paper and I'll cut a piece of paper with it. I did strop it, like I said. I don't even know that it needed that. But come on. Got my camera pretty low, so there you go. Will it pierce through pretty easily? Let's do this. So draw cuts, utility cuts work just fine. It doesn't have a low tip, but when you back up and you're not like this, you don't have to put too much angle in your wrist. If you just back up, you're just fine. It's got plenty of stuff going on here. Let me cut this normal. There's nothing bad about that edge at all. It came sharper than that. It really did. And I have used it quite a bit. So edge retention, I think, is pretty darn good. And let's see. That's all I really have to say about the blade. The thumb studs, they're nice. They don't hurt your thumb. They don't give you, you know, any kind of indentions in your thumb or anything like that. You don't have thumb fatigue from that. Action, ridiculously good. Here's your blade, centered right down the middle. And it's dual action, like I said. So you got the flipper, and you've got the thumb stud. And I will say this about the action. They have nailed the detent. A lot of times when you have the thumb stud and the flipper's kind of meh. It's kind of mushy, a little bit, kind of an afterthought. This detent right here, I don't think you can fail this. I've tried to fail it, but as soon as you break that detent, it just flies out. Barely pushing, it's out. Same thing with the flipper. It's out. Where in contrast, here you go. Here's the ZT with the flipper. And this has a thumb stud too, but you can't open it with the thumb stud. It's flipper only. So I can actually fail this one. See? Really love this knife right here, but the action between the two, this is just far superior. It's fun to fidget with and play with. I do normally like the thumb stud, but on this one, it's right where I want it to be. Your finger just kind of sits on that ramp. You can just bring your finger down. Good to go. Good to go. I do kind of wish there was a little more jimping on that, but it's fine. Like I said, you're not failing it. It just comes right out. Closing, really good. Really good. Just give it like a little shake. There she goes. You can just flip it. Oh, hit the detent right there. You could just flip it closed. Very nice. Shut it with your thumb. Whatever you want to do. It all goes back. It is solid. The lockup is there. Let's do a couple spine wax Here is your lockup, about 50%, I'd say. It's good. It ain't going nowhere. That bad boy is solid. Pivot looks good. Handles. Let's talk about the handles for a second. So you got G10 textured. And like I said, very, very grippy. Listen. Very grippy. You're not dropping this thing unless you're a weenie. You've got this back spacer right here with the lanyard hole, which I think is kind of a weird looking lanyard hole. If you had a lanyard on there, it'd be kind of awkward sliding back and forth. It does look cool though, I'll say that. I like the blue on that, anodized. I really like it. That looks cool, the blue and the green together. I kind of wish they done the thumb stud the same color. That'd be neat. It has full liners, and they're thick, which puts this at over 4 ounces. It doesn't feel heavy, but it is kind of a heavier knife. Let's do size comparisons. Let's bring out the ZT. Like I said, it's smaller than the ZT. Kind of reminds me of it a little bit in shape, but it is smaller. Also, here's your Benchmade 940. And it is just about the exact size of that 940 lengthwise. Also, you've got more blade, cutting blade on the 940, cutting edge, just because it doesn't have this choil, right? So you get more blade on here. Not as tall, see that? Also not near as thin. The 940 is way thicker behind the edge. This is really thin. I don't know the exact BTE, but it's a slicer, I promise you. It is a slicer. It has some heft right here, but it's not too thick. That's just about where you want a working knife. And it said on the box, let me see, they're advertising this as an outdoor folding green new knife. Outdoor, I said to myself, like camping, that's what they say. But I can't argue with that because this bad boy is solid. And I mean solid. You could do what you want to with this thing. It's going to get some work done. No kidding around. I know that because I've carried it all week long and it has done everything I've asked, and it has literally impressed me. And I don't get impressed by budget knives. I just don't. I'm not a budget knife guy. I can see where, you know, you'd want a budget knife if you had a limited budget. I'm not rich. I work at Walmart, so just imagine what my salary is. I'm not rich by any means. But I'm really not a budget guy. They just don't get my gears going. Not my jam. But I'm not going to lie. I really like this knife. As a matter of fact, after handling it, I would buy this. And the price overall is between $50 and $60. You can't beat that. And I've actually seen it some places for $45. So I don't know if they're still doing the $45 right now. I'll shoot a link down in the description with some information about this. And if you're interested, you can snag one. But overall, I do like this knife. Let's look at the one more comparison. The PM2. Pretty close. So there you go. So if you have a PM2, you like the size of it, I think you'll like the size of this one as well. It's girthy. The ergos are just dead on. Oh, it's smooth, man. I love the ergos on this. Also, I found out, and I forgot to say this about the blade, but this section right here with no DLC on it, or coating, or whatever it is, this has a sharp 90-degree edge. And that's for starting a fire. I wanted to get a, what do you call them daggum things? A fire starter. and strike it, a ferrule rod, but they didn't have none at Walmart, so I didn't get one. But I'm sure that works really good because that is a sharp 90-degree edge. I think that would work fine. And it's solid, so should be good to go there. Like the knife. Overall, what I like about it is how solid it is. The ergos, the action is just dead on. And the value. Heck, for 50 bucks, 60 bucks at the most, this is a serious knife that could be your only knife, and it could do you really well. No kidding. And it looks pretty cool if you ask me. I like the shape of it, the shape of the blade. I like the utility of it. I do wish it had a little bit more jimping right here. If you want to choke up. This is not too sharp into your thumb, so that's good. I wish it did have a little more jimping right there, but that would kind of mess up this, right? So I think this is overall good design. And the only other thing that I don't like about it is the clip. Why, you say, don't you like the clip, Richter? Well, here, I'm going to show you why. It's not a deep carry, okay? So you got a ways up here you can grab it. So if I'm putting this in my right hand pocket like this, I can grab it right here and pull it right out. That's fine. I like deep carry clips, but this is fine. The only thing I don't like about this is the angle right here. So if it's in my pocket, I'm going to have that much exposed, right, of my clip before you ever get to the bottom. So you're at the bottom on this side, but you're not on this side. And if it's in my right pocket, it's doing this number, not this number. You know what I'm saying? So let me kind of demonstrate that. If this is my pocket, the outside of my pocket, and I put this here, when you're looking at the front of my body, that's what the clip looks like. It's just goofy. And it would be doing this in your pocket, which would lean it back, but your pockets are not like that. That's just weird. That's fine if it was canted just a tad bit to where it would come back a little bit, but that's a little much. I don't like that about the clip, and I don't like that it moves. See? Very easily moves. And you could see right there where it's been moving on me. The retention's good. That's fine. It doesn't tear your pocket up, even though it has this. But this is not really aggressive. So, anyways, overall, love the knife. Wish it had a better design on the pocket clip, but it's okay. It's not a deal breaker. And check it out, man. If you like what you see, FINTISO, go down in the description of my video. Check it out. And this is Richter. Don't forget, tell your friends, your family, your mom and them, your baby mama, and your crush and your barber about Richter knives. Hit the like button if you like it, for Pete's sake, and subscribe. It's that little red button right down there. This is Richter Knives with the FINTISO Falcon. Out.